Ozzy Osbourne stopped concert when he saw a terminally ill child's last wish. Response will shatter. He was moments away from starting the loudest part of the show when he saw a weak little boy holding a sign that said, "This is my last wish. Please hug me, Ozzy." What Ozzy did next made the entire stadium cry. It was a final show of Ozzy Osbourne's world tour. A massive stadium. Almost 70,000 screaming fans. Black waves of people, metal horns in the air, and the stage glowing like a burning sun. But behind all the smoke, fire, and madness, behind the roaring guitars and the thunder of drums, behind the crowd waiting for one more night of pure chaos, there was one fragile heartbeat, a tiny soul, a child clinging to life. His name was Ethan Reed, a 9-year-old boy whose lungs were slowly failing him because of a terminal genetic disease. Doctors had told the parents, he doesn't have much time left. But Ethan never cried about it. He never complained. He only had one dream, to see Ozzy Osbourne, his hero, his inspiration, his fighter of darkness, perform live just once. Ethan called Ozzy something special. My night warrior. He said Ozzy's voice made him feel alive in ways medicine couldn't. At Ethan's parents, Michael and Sarah, were broken inside, but they stayed strong for their boy. Sarah often sat with him at night, letting him play Dreamer and Mama, I'm Coming Home on repeat. One night, Ethan whispered, Mom, if I get to see Ozzy, maybe I won't be scared. Those words shattered her. The father, who had not cried in years, stepped outside the hospital and punched the air helplessly, a silent scream inside his throat. The parents wrote hundreds of emails. They contacted charities. They reached out to fan groups. Finally, miraculously, Ozzy's team responded. They arranged 2 special seats for Ethan and his parents, right in the front row, and made sure paramedics were close just in case. But nobody expected what would happen next. Not the parents. Not the fans. Not the crew. Not even Ozzy himself. When Ozzy walked on stage, the stadium shook like a beast waking up. Crowd screamed, "Oh, Zzy, Ozzy, Ozzy." The lights flashed. The guitar riff started. The drums exploded. He lifted the mic. But suddenly, he froze. His eyes locked on a small child in the front row. A boy breathing through oxygen tubes, wrapped in a blanket, barely able to hold a cardboard sign that it read, "This is my last wish. Please hug me, Ozzy." Ozzy took a step back. The crowd quieted without understanding. His chest tightened. His vision blurred. He whispered on the mic, voice cracking, "Stop the show. Stop everything." All the instruments went silent. Instantly. 0.70 people watched as the Prince of Darkness stepped off the stage and walked straight toward Ethan. Security tried to guide Ozzy, but he waved him away till he walked alone. The boy looked up, eyes full of tears, hands shaking. Ozzy knelt down slowly. The stadium held its breath. Ozzy touched Ethan's cold hands, and the boy whispered, "Thank you for being my hero." Ozzy felt his throat close. He pulled Ethan into his arms and hugged him. Not a short hug, not a gentle pat, but a long, trembling, father-like embrace. People in the crowd started crying. Phones dropped. Even grown men in leather jackets wiped their faces. Ozzy whispered into Ethan's ear, "You're the real warrior, not me." Ethan's parents sobbed uncontrollably. Ozzy lifted Ethan gently and carried him on stage, oxygen tubes and all. And then he did something nobody in rock history had ever done. He sat on the stage floor with Ethan in his arms and sang Dreamer, just for him. No band, no instruments, just Ozzy sitting with a dying child, singing softly into his ear. After the song, Ethan struggled to breathe but smiled. He asked Ozzy, voice barely audible, "Will you be there when I fall asleep tonight?" Ozzy kissed his forehead and whispered, "I'll be there in your dreams, kiddo." The paramedics stepped in as Ethan's oxygen levels dropped. The crowd fell silent as they carried him away. The child kept clutching Ozzy's hand until the very last second. Sarah shouted, "Ethan wants you to have this." She handed Ozzy the small bracelet Ethan made in the hospital, bead spelling. Night Warrior. Ozzy broke down on stage. He cried openly, chest shaking, unable to continue the concert. He held the bracelet to his heart and said, "This is the greatest gift anyone has ever given me." He canceled the concert because nothing mattered more than that moment. 2 days later, Ethan passed away peacefully in his sleep. He wore Ozzy's tour shirt. He held a picture from that night. He was smiling in the photo, the biggest smile he had in months. Ozzy attended the private funeral quietly, without cameras, without media. He placed a Night Warrior bracelet on Ethan's chest and whispered, "Rest, little warrior. You inspired the world." The story spread everywhere, but not because of fame. IT spread because people saw a legend put aside his entire world just to give hope to one dying child. Charities were inspired. Fans raised money for terminally ill kids. Ozzy funded a medical research wing in Ethan's name, and every night before going on stage, Ozzy touches his wrist. He now wears a bracelet that says, "Ethan," because the child who had nothing left gave Ozzy something he will carry forever. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe to Voices of Darkness. Like and share this video with your friends. And if you love Ozzy Osbourne, prove your love and help us reach 1,000 subscribers. Comment your name. We might use your name in the next story.